What's up there, Metal Summoners? It is so great to see you guys. We really appreciate you guys always hanging out, rocking out, and supporting the show, because by supporting the show, you're doing something so much bigger, so much better, and that's you supporting the artists that have are so gracious with their time that we get to talk to and have these great conversations. So welcome back to your Island of Misfit Toys, myself and Angel, and we're going to get a little bit darker, a little bit blacker, a little bit heavier this evening. Again, we always appreciate you guys, but I'm very, very stoked myself as a big fan of this band, but it is all about the conversations, it's all about the courtesies, and it's all about the upcoming music, tours, and the fun. Curran Murphy, guitar player for Venom Inc., is live with us right now. Cheers, my friend. First and foremost, gentlemen, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate your time this evening, and welcome to the Metal Summit. It's an honor, sir.
No, thanks for the invite. I appreciate the hell out of it. It's going to be a great night of yapping and drinking, I think.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that one, my friend. And first and foremost, man, I mean, you've got an upcoming European tour that's coming up. That's really, really awesome. So myself and Angel, and also our other co-host who works more behind the scenes, Steve, we had a recent interview with a band called Exact, which is a very good Black Label Society tribute band that has been, signed off on by Zakk Wylde as well. And the reason I bring that up is because there's a band by that same name with a similar looking singer and guitar player that you will be playing with in Europe. But no, of course, you're going overseas, my friend. Again, I know you guys are very well versed out there, and you're playing with Black Label Society, so that's got to be exciting.
Oh, over the moon when Tony said there was the inkling of the sprinkling of an idea of us being selected for that tour. I was worried I'd hold my breath and hit my head, waiting to hear. But the whole tour is going to be so exciting, being direct support for Black Label Society. Their new album is incredible. I think we're doing, I want to say like 17 shows with them over in Europe. So we're doing all of these great shows with them. A bunch of them are already selling out. I think the first 3 or 4 shows might already be sold out on the tour. And, Tony and I and Mark have all been talking details about, the set time we're given, the production space, and all these great things. And my understanding right now is that, Black Label Society, the whole crew, is being nothing but generous with us as their direct support. We're getting full set time, full stage production, full lights, full sound. They're really just being incredibly gracious, allowing us to, be on their stage and treating us the way I'm being told that we're going to be treated. And it makes it that much more exciting that we're going to get to, start these shows for, the right-hand man to the King of Madness, Ozzy Osbourne himself. And, Zakk still out there doing not only Black Label Society, but, Zakk Sabbath, and then doing that final show with Ozzy, and then, holding the torch high for his brother Dimebag and Vinny with the Pantera Celebration. You can't really say anything except wow and fucking awesome. Yes. And the fact that we get to be direct support, that Venom Inc. has essentially just been chosen and plucked, like, hey, this is the band that's coming out with us, that's the vibe I'm getting. And so it's really exciting. It's going to be wicked.
Oh, no, absolutely, brother, for sure. And of course, we're all Ozzy Osbourne people, but are you also like a Black Label Society guy? Were you a Pride and Glory fan? Just talking a little bit about Zakk's personal history.
Well, so for me, my thing with Zach Wild, my introduction to Zach Wild, who's this fucking guy, was No Rest for the Wicked,
Mhm.
Crazy Babies, and Miracle Man. And, when that album came out, it was at such a not as odd of a time as when grunge was exploding for the 2 or 3 years that grunge was the king of the world. But Zach Wild was such a left turn
Yeah.
as far as like shredder guitar players, cats who could really, really fucking crush on guitar, where he's, just slaying on, the pentatonic scales and blues riffs, but at Mach speed. And then you find out through interviews and you dig through his history that what a Black Sabbath fanatic he is, what a Randy Rhoads fanatic, Jakey Lee, like, he's baptized in the Sabbath, baby. And
Absolutely.
and it's so awesome that he didn't come in with an arrogance in his stance about, well, I'm going to do my thing and this is how it's going to be. He came in and paid absolute respect to Randy Rhoads and Tony Iommi and Jakey Lee and all of these incredible players for this incredible singer that he also loved and worshiped and all that music. And so then even when he split off and he needed to get a different flavor on the table with Pride and Glory,
Yeah.
where it had, the country tinge and the chicken picking and all that Southern swamp rock stuff, boy from New Jersey doing Southern swamp rock. What the fuck? It was great. And then Black Label Society and then Zach Sabbath, all this stuff, it's just very interesting and cool to me that he can, shift gears from this to this to this to this to this to this, and it's still always Zach, and it still always feels authentic to me, even if it's maybe something, oh well, I really didn't care for this, or I don't know about that, it's still, I can't see anything but, again, Zach Wild's authenticity to himself. You put a little plastic Hello Kitty guitar in his hand, and he'll still make Black Sabbath sound badass. That
Yes.
YouTube video's out there, kids. Check it. It's fucking great.
Absolutely, brother, for sure, man. Were you able to watch any of the Black Sabbath farewell show?
So I did not see it live.
Mhm.
I got a copy of it on a USB stick. I might be incriminating myself here. I don't know, but
We won't tell
and
anyone.
and so for my wife's birthday party, we did a big birthday party, and we had it on every TV in the house playing with all of our friends over, and so it was really fun to watch all those bands play. And I didn't know any of the details of it at all, that it was a huge charity fundraiser, for, I believe, for Parkinson's, I think, right? Like, I still don't,
I-
details, like, where's the stage, where's my guitar, let me play. That's about as succinct as I can get anymore.
Totally.
um but I just thought it was really cool that, all these bands came out and played all day. And then Ozzy came up, and I'm sorry, but he killed it.
He did.
He slayed his stuff, and then he went out and played with Black Sabbath and slayed again. And there were rumors, and I don't know how much any of this is true, but it was like they literally didn't know if he'd even be able to get up and do anything,
Yeah.
like sing, much less just get on the fucking stage, even with the throne, and you saw him bring him out and all that shit.
Mhm.
And it speaks volumes to the fact that he was the kind of guy that just, fuck it, I just want to play. If I die on stage, what a great way to go.
Right.
And then what, 2 weeks later, get the
It-
fuck out of here.
that was insane.
Is this a man who knew, who was told it's happening? Well, I gotta do one more show. Fuck you, I
Yeah.
gotta do one more show. And he performed incredibly. I thought he sounded great.
Mhm.
And it's you see people in the crowd when they're doing Mama, I'm Coming Home, and everyone's breaking down in tears. And man, there was something beautifully magical about that. And I mean, hell, we could tie it into everything where, I can go to a country where English isn't the second language, much less the third or the fourth language. I can barely order a coffee because I don't speak whatever their home language is, but I can be on stage and play, and the people that pay to come see Venom Inc. play know every fucking word, but can't have a conversation with me in English, and I can't have a conversation with them, but they know every fucking word.
Right.
That beautiful unifying thing of what music is, and what Ozzy Osbourne did, and to navigate and survive this industry for all the years he did, with all of the crippling alcohol and drug addiction, and so many people that didn't make it, and Ozzy kept going despite having his addictions and then getting a handle on them. And man, it was awesome. And I finally did sit down and get to watch it a few months ago, like all the way through, and watch all the bands play. And I'm like, fuck, this is cool. And like, apparently they had like all the bands that were there were having a meeting, like, okay, Ozzy might not be able to, so all right, who's going to go up and sing Paranoid? Who's going to go up and sing? And like all, like, James Hetfield and James Maynard Keenan, this is all rumor. This is what I read somewhere on the interwebbies or whatever. They're all standing side stage waiting, like, okay, we're going to go up. We're going to have to go up and cover for Ozzy. We're going to have to sing for Ozzy. And then Ozzy gets up and puts it down. And then 2 weeks later, he knew how to get in the ground. Can you think of a better way to go as a human being?
For sure.
I mean, goddamn.
I know.
Cheers, Ozzy.
Cheers, Ozzy. Absolutely, brother. For sure. So when it comes to Venom Inc., one of the things that I definitely wanted to, talk about and get all of our metal summoners familiar with, who might not be familiar with, is your guys' most recent album, There's Only Black, is absolutely killer. I mean, I was showing you off the air. I was like, oh, for you metal summoners, like, trust me, these guys are one of my bands, man. Is that it's absolutely killer. So anybody who is familiar with Venom Inc., knows Tony and Mantis and Abaddon getting it started. And then actually Jeremy, who's actually, a friend of mine who went by the name War Machine, that played in the band as well for a short time. But now with, you taking the reins for Mantis, and with the upcoming music that's available, and being worked on, for upcoming Venom Inc. music. My question for this segment for you, before I kick it up to Angel and let him take it away for a little bit, is how quickly did you and Tony start like putting together ideas and music for a new Venom Inc. recording featuring this lineup? Because you guys have been so rock solid since really locking up. And like you and I talked off the air, I saw you guys when you came through Baltimore, your cool little matinee show.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely killer. And it was so much fun.
Thanks again, man.
And absolutely. No, of course, man. And again, just a quick shout out to TMS alumni, Salem Child, who opened up that show for you guys. So shout out to those guys as well. But the band is so dialed in. But you and Tony have such a great relationship that how quickly did you guys really lock horns about like new Venom Inc. music together?
Well, I would say that, serious discussions about the next record, the upcoming, albums that we're going to do this year, really started probably, end of January, mid-February last year during the US tour. When Dunn made his announcement that he was not going to return to Venom Inc. And, at that point, I was still very much in the mindset of, I'm filling in. I'm not, you can't take the place of, you can't fill those shoes of, of what Dunn had done before with Venom, and then with Venom Inc. and Tony. For me to walk in and go, oh, well, I'm, again, like we were talking about Zach, for me, I just figured that Dunn would come back, and so my whole thought process when Tony had asked me if I would fill in for South America, and then asked if I could do the Jakarta Hammer Sonic Fest, and every show after that was, you know, it's gonna end eventually. I'm gonna get a call. Hey, Jeff's coming back. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm bummed out that it's ending, but at least I knew that I was involved with a good guy. With Tony wasn't gonna leave me stranded at an airport, or not pay me a fair amount of money for being on tour for 8 months, or 8 weeks or whatever. I was so when he made the announcement, and really, Tony offered me the job. He's like, do you want to be the guitar player for Venom Inc? And I didn't even let him finish the sentence, really. Yes, of course, it's been great. I want to keep doing it. But that whole mindset instantly had turned to, well, what's your battle plan, Tony, for making the new record, or making a record, or the timeline, this kind of thing. And we wanted to do it last year. We wanted to get an album done last year, but we had a lot of just band business and things to take care of, shows and contracts and all kinds of stuff that Tony had to satisfy and take care of before anything else could be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so really what we ended up doing, Tony and I, and Mark, Jackson for that matter, sitting on the tour bus, or after sound check in the green room, talking about, well, hey, the next record, I've been a record producer since 1999, and I'd asked Tony, well, dude, do you ever miss the days, like, when you were just a broke ass with your first band, and you'd save $150 or $200, and you'd go to, how much studio time can I get? And you'd walk in with all your money, and they're, oh, we'll give you 4 hours, kid. And you'd go in, and you'd all set up, and you'd all play, and then you'd quick overdub the vocal, and then you'd spend 10 minutes mixing, and then there's your record. Like, do you ever miss those days, like getting that kind of that innocent, reckless abandon, that complete, we can make something awesome in a couple of hours. I know we can. And making a record like that, because the last 20 years, the way albums are made, it's click tracks. The drummer lives in Germany, the lead guitar player lives in Ontario, the bass player lives in Texas, and making a record via email, budgets aren't there anymore, like that kind of shit. And so Tony and I would just spitball ideas, like, man, even if we just did an EP, like we all got in a room and just put up a bunch of mics and did like 5 takes of each song and just picked the best one and then mixed it. And that's the EP. Like, how fun would that be? And, Tony got excited about it. And from there, it just kind of, we kept having more discussions and production meetings, over drinks and this and that and the other, and tours, and to where I think the way we've recorded this mini LP that we're doing, that is technically recorded and done, and I'm in the process of mixing it right now. We convened here in Ohio at my recording studio at Custom Audio Mutation, and we got in the loud room, we set up all the mics, we set up all the gear, and we just started recording. Prior to that, Tony had talked about, he's like, oh, I've got like 30 songs and a bunch of stuff that didn't get used for There's Only Black. And, I've got the stockpile of stuff that, Dunn was such a writer and I'm a writer, but, Dunn was always producing the records, so he would pick all the songs and this and that. And I'm like, well, why don't we just get together and record everything? Why not? And I write all the time. So I would get excited after a conversation with Tony, and then over the weekend, I'd write 3 or 4 songs and send them to him and go, hey, if there's anything in here you like, I did that a couple of times. And I think the 3rd or 4th time, Tony might've messaged me and said, hey, Curran, we got a problem. I'm like, what's the matter? What's going on? He's like, we got too many songs. Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, everything you've sent me, I want to use. And I've got, all these songs, and I've got a bunch of other stuff. And we have like over 40 songs that we could use for the new record. What are we going to do? I'm like, again, let's just record everything. Fuck it. I mean, we'll have B-sides and singles, and and we can hand them to producers, let producers pick the songs, and then let the record label pick the song list from the producer, and then that's the producer will pick, and that's how we'll make the record. And all these great, wild, fun ideas. And so we were talking about it. We've been talking about it and strategizing it and everything over the last year. And I think the exciting thing is, because we just came off the South America run with Forbidden and Violence, doing a triple co-headliner tour with those two amazing bands. And, we ended up, Venom Inc., we did that special one-off at the Kiss FM radio station studios, where we all thought it was just going to be an interview. And they're like, oh, well, you guys can set up in there and pick the songs you want to play, and we'll record them and then release. I'm like, wait, what? And surprise, but it came out great. And so there's that exciting thing. We're doing that as a live release, the São Paulo Kiss FM sessions. And then the Black Label Society tour came up, and that was the final hammer drop, I think, for Tony, where he's like, we need to get new music done. We've got to get something new done as Venom Inc., as as Curran, Jackson, and Tony. We've got to do something new. And this little mini LP, it's really just kind of that we want to do a taster's choice taste test. Like, it's not a full album, but it's a lot of material packed into a little space. And it's going to be I think a lot of special, fun stuff that people are going to be really excited to hear. And it's going to be great.
Absolutely, for sure. And Angel, forgive me one moment, man. I got one more thing that kind of plays off what Curran was saying. And then, of course, man, pick it up right after. It's all you, right after Curran's answer. Is Curran, what's your a little bit of your backstory history, with Tony? When Mantis's health issues needed him to be sidelined temporarily, at least at that time, and you got the call to join and play with the band. How did you know Tony, or how did Tony know you? How did you get involved with Venom Inc.?
Well, so my last band that I did, 72 Legions, kind of a death metal band that I had put together, we got an offer to open for Venom Inc. on their East Coast tour. 2024?
Oh,
it's all a bit of a blur now. But it was with Ringworm and Satan and Venom Inc., and we were going to be the opening band, and we're unsigned band, unproven on the road. And I said, absolutely, we'll definitely take that tour. So what ended up happening was, prior to the tour, a couple of weeks before that tour was going to happen, there's a Blabbermouth article about Venom Inc. guitarist bowing out of next U.S. tour. He had made an announcement that his wife had cancer and he had to stay home and take care of her. Valid reason to not go on tour. But the only thing I could think of was, oh, fuck, the tour is going to be canceled. And, all my guys have day jobs and have put in their notices, and everyone's gearing up for the tour. The tour is going to be fucking canceled. And so I actually reached out to a couple of friends of mine, one of them being Martine from Destruction. And I said, hey, would it be shitty if I messaged Tony, because I didn't know Tony at the time, about filling in on guitar so the tour doesn't get canceled? Like, not trying to I could be the new guitar player for Venom Inc. No. This was, I just didn't want the tour canceled for 72 Legions and my guys, Martin was like, oh, dude, no, Tony's cool as fuck, blah, blah, blah. Just reach out. I'm like, all right, cool. So I found him on Facebook, and he had 2 accounts. He still does have 2 Facebook accounts. I messaged him the same message on both. I said, hey, Tony, my name's Curran Murphy. I'm the lead guitar player for the band 72 Legions. We're opening for you on the upcoming tour. I just saw the announcement that Jeff is bowing out of the tour. And if you don't have a guitar player sorted out, if you don't have it worked out, I would be more than happy to learn your set and I'll play. I just don't want the tour canceled. That's it. And then I think I finished the email with, I'm not an idiot or a moron. I used to play in Nevermore. I used to play in Annihilator. You send me your set list. And he messaged me back, like I think the next day, and he's like, oh my God, Curran, you're going to save the tour. I'm like, oh, fuck, really? Oh, shit. All right. Send me your set list, And, what ended up happening was Tony contacted Mike Hickey, who had played in Venom years ago and kind of knew all the songs already and everything. And Tony knew Mike, and he was the logical, easy, correct choice to make that tour happen. So that's how my email introduction to Tony. And then we toured together for 2.5 weeks. We hit it off in a friend kind of way and everything. And then at the end of it, he, was very, very generous, very courteous about the band, about 72 Legions. He complimented me on my work ethic and the guys and all that, because we were humping all the gear, providing all the backline, stage managing for changeovers for all the bands, all that stuff. And then a couple months later, Tony reached out and said, hey, I have the South America tour booked. Dunn can't do it. He there's a bunch of vaccinations required, and like he doesn't want to do the vaccines or whatever, and still taking care of his wife. And would you be interested in this? I'm like, fucking twist my arm. I'm already at the airport. He's like, well, it's not for a couple of weeks. I'm like, no, I know. But that, now Tony knows anytime he talks about a tour, I always send him a little Giphy of the Ultimate Warrior running to the ring. Like, hey, I'm already at the airport, bro.
Yes.
But then, Jeff Dunn had his second heart attack.
Right.
And Tony messaged me. He's like, hey, I have this festival in Jakarta that we have to play. I've been trying for years to get on it, even though we've got a legitimate reason to not be on it. We'll never get it again if we don't go and play. Can you be ready in 2 weeks before the festival? And then we'll go do South America. And, Tony had sent me a song list for South America, like 38 fucking songs.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, well, I won't be 38 songs ready. And he's like, no, it's a festival. We're playing like 45, 50 minutes. It'll be like 18, 20 songs. I'm like, well, I've already got 14 or 15 learned. So what are the songs? And luckily, the 14 or 15 that I had learned were on the list. Nice. So I only had to learn like 3 or 4 more. But so that's really how it all started. And, it just right off the get-go, we played Hammer Sonic, 54,000 people. And, I'm halfway around the world. I've never been to Jakarta. I don't really know Tony. I definitely don't know Mark, the drummer. And to cap it all off, no rehearsals.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez.
So it was literally, here's the set list. We're in Tony's hotel room going over how the songs were going to go together. And hey, do a rock ending here, do this little bit here. I want you to do a guitar solo. Guitar solo? What? He's like, yeah, I think you should do. I think it'd be fun if you just did. Okay, and we went up and started playing, and literally within about 30 seconds, I knocked over a pyro flamethrower, and we had a great show. Yeah. So, but and then after that, it was just off to the races. We were all, it was never about, oh, I'm taking Mantis's place. No, it was always about, You know, I'm here to help Tony
Yep.
fulfill, you know, he's got contracts signed. He's got work lined up for Venom Inc.
Mhm.
Nobody can plan around a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
Nobody can plan around your wife's cancer. You have to respect that shit. And everybody did. And it was like, well, hey, I'm just thrilled to be playing on these stages and going around the world and playing this great fun music for these maniacal fans of Venom Inc. and Venom, and playing these classic songs that, you know, shit, when I was sitting there learning these songs, I'm like, oh wow, there's Metal Militia, there's Hit the Lights, there's Seek and Destroy, that's where they got these riffs from. Holy shit. Wow, you know, the bands that inspired me were inspired by the band that I'm playing guitar for.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's like such a beautiful, wild, crazy thing that in a million years you couldn't tell 15-year-old Curran this was going to happen.
Absolutely,
But,
friend.
yeah, so I mean, all of it just everything about, you know, me being asked to fill in while Mantis gets healthy, to Mantis deciding, you know, he's not gonna play guitar anymore, tour anymore, be in Venom Inc. anymore. All, you know, all the stuff that he said that's well documented on the interwebs. To Tony offering me to be a full member of the band, to, you know, touring the world over the last 2 years with him and Mark, having a great time, playing great shows, having incredibly awesome and exciting and fun interactions with all the Venom Inc. fans, you know, and then to this last piece of the puzzle, working in the studio together, being creative in the studio together, creating together, and finishing this new mini LP together, and starting a whole new chapter, you know, for all three of us with Venom Inc. And it's been nothing but killer. And I don't see any reason why it's going to ever not be killer. So anyway, long answer to a pretty good question. I ramble, I know, but
No, that's all right, man. This is a conversations, fun time driven show, my friend. Absolutely. And another guy that loves our fun conversations is my partner in crime, Angel. Appreciate you, my friend. I know I took over our opening segment a little longer than we normally do, but I appreciate you, my man. It is all you.
Well, like I said, this is not another rock show where it's scripted. We go by who's going to say or do what.
We go by feel and flow.
fair enough.
Same thing with sex. But that's for the 11 o'clock segment.
Yeah,
Right.
don't forget, Metal Summoners. The 9 o'clock show is completely different from the 11 o'clock show.
The 11 o'clock show gets a little blue.
Yes.
Yeah. I got this good, awesome question from Brian. How long did it take for you to learn the set, and also what song was the hardest to get down?
Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. So when Tony first asked me to fill in, he sent me a song with like 38 songs, right? So obviously there were a bunch of the classic Venom songs in there, because Tony's been playing those songs since 88, 89, when he joined Venom as the bass player and singer for Venom, and they did Prime Evil.
Yeah.
Hell, I think on that record they even re-recorded Live Like an Angel, Die Like a Devil, right? So they're but I mean, the good Lord, Tony gave me that set list, and I think I had about 6 weeks to get those 38 songs working. And this is stuff from, you know, all the classic Venom records, and then obviously, you know, Ave and There's Only Black. I would say the hardest song for me to really get pulled together proper would probably be the title track off of There's Only Black. Because there's a lot of parts, there's a lot of changes, a bunch of guitar solos, and you know, I've never like learned other people's songs the way I knew I had to learn the Venom Inc. music and learn as best I could the guitar solos note for note and make sure that, you know, this is what was in my head originally was, you know, people can be, you know, the fans could be mad, angry, or fuck you because I'm not Jeff Dunn on stage. I'm not Mantis. I'm Curran. So they could be mad and disappointed that Mantis isn't there, but they can't be mad or disappointed in how I play the songs, try to recreate all the special effects that were on those early records, the guitar harmonies, the flangers, the big delay thing, the dive bombs, all of these things on those records that people, you know, I get people 60-year-old men coming up to me telling me like, oh dude, I remember when I got Welcome to Hell and oh my God, and the single black metal, and I took it to my high school. I got kicked out of high school for a week because I got, like, you know, people own those records and own that music, you know? And so I wanted to make sure that they can be disappointed it's not Mantis, but they can't be disappointed in how those songs sound live. So that was really the hard part, making sure all those old records, like the skronks and bonks and the little weird bits here and there, and then, you know, the new stuff, the progression in musicianship, you know, I mean, everybody gets better the more they play and the longer they play. So, you know, you go from something like black metal to Ave, and it's two completely different bands. It's Venom Inc. and you know, that classic style of old school thrash and death metal or black metal or whatever they were branded as back in the day. But the newer stuff was definitely the challenge. You know, the title track Ave off of the Ave album, and you know, There's Only Black. You know, those took a lot of time to really make sure that I had all the little bits and pieces and ins and outs and blips and blorps and pick scrapes and all that stuff. So, you know, when we hit the stage, and boy, I'm glad I did, because again, my first show, you know, no rehearsal. So, and it was like 1, 2, 3, go! Witching hour. What? Oh, how's that one go again? No, I knew how that one went. Everything after that was bullshit.
I mean, that's very exciting. I remember Matt Sorum, when he played his first show with Guns N' Roses at Rock in Rio. He was like, I didn't know the set list.
Well, and that was the thing I asked Tony about, because then for South America, like we did Jakarta, I get home and I had like 2 weeks off, and he sent another 20 songs.
Oh my God.
Damn.
And I'm like, he's like, oh, I want to rotate the set every night. I'm like, well, I can't argue with that, because that's a really cool thing to do, you know. All right, because, you know, most bands, they'll play the same set. I mean, maybe not most bands, but, you know, bands will play the same set every night and this and that. I'm like, well, that's cool. And, you know, that paid off, because our first show in Santiago, Chile, when we were co-headlining with Possessed down there, and there was one of the promoters of the show went up to Tony, and he's like, could you please play, oh God, what was the song off of Primeval, the School Days?
Oh.
With like the blues intro and shit. And that just so happened was one of the tunes that was on the list that I had learned. And Tony's like, well, I don't know. Hey, Curran, do you know School Days? I'm like, motherfucker, you know it. I got a list of 58 I know now, man. I was like, oh, well, what else do you know? So we started playing that song, and this guy, him and his 10 buddies, all in a row at back by the soundboard, head banging and screaming and cheering. I mean, that's cool to be able to pull that out. And, you know, Tony walks up, he's like, yeah, we've never played that song live before. And this was just at a sound check, you know. I'm like, really? No? He's like, thanks for bothering to learn it, Curran. I'm like, well, dude, you sent me the list. I kind of figured it was like I had to. So, yeah.
We get to another good question from Brian.
Oh,
outside of the new music you're writing, what song that you've previously written would you love to be played to Venom?
So all the new material that we've written as Venom Inc. or in my head that I've written songs for Venom Inc. I got to be honest. I wouldn't want to play any of my old stuff as a part of Venom Inc. I don't think it would be appropriate. You know what I mean? Like to come in and play like a bunch of proggy thrash metal. Eh, I mean, I'm proud of what 72 Legions did. I'm proud of what Shatter Messiah did. But that would kind of be like me telling Tony, hey, we have to play an Annihilator song off of Waking the Fury that I was on. Like, nah. and besides, again, all those songs were great. All those bands were great. I'm in Venom Inc. This is Venom Inc. And we've got so much new music. It would be like for me to bring in an old song of something that I've already released before. Nah, the song's already been released. It's written and recorded and released and done. So nothing like that. Nothing like that.
So when you guys go to Europe, which I looked at the dates, I'm like, fuck, you guys gonna be in Europe for a while.
Yeah, I think at least maybe 4 weeks, and that might be expanding because it's also festival season over there. So there's we've got I think 3 summer fests that we're playing in between the dates with Black Label, and so are they. They've got festival dates as well that they're doing in between the run that we're doing with them. Again, I tell Tony, you don't even ask, just book it. Just tell me, when do I need to get on the plane? Let's go. So we'll be over there for at least 4 weeks, most likely 5, and that might expand out to another 6 or 7 after total weeks over there. Yeah, especially with the new mini LP getting ready, getting finished up and prep for release, and then also with the Kiss FM studio sessions that we did in Sao Paulo, that being specially released, and then Tony, we have a live album that he wants to put out this year, kind of all in the same framework of time from all the shows that we've played together. So I think he recorded Jakarta, Hammer Sonic. I think he's got master multi-tracks of that. So there could be some really fun, cool shit that I don't even know about yet for the live album. And then of course, a full-length studio album is going to be done before the end of the year. And I believe we're going to, again, these things are out of my control. So this is just kind of what I'm picking up, is that we're going to have a full-length Venom Inc. studio album released before the end of this year. So so four new releases from Venom Inc. in a year is going to be super exciting, and I just can't wait. So the mini EP or mini LP that we did is the sounds are so good. The energy was so good when we were tracking in the studio together, like literally in a room recording together. We used a click track and all that good stuff, but it's not quantized. It's not triggered. It's like how Van Halen did it. You got in a room and you played, you did take the best take, and then you have the singer overdub. Cool. And having that spirit when you're recording, it really felt magical for the 3 of us in that loud room. And then just listening to it on the big speakers here in the control room, and we're all just sitting here going, did this really happen? This is pretty good, man. What the fuck? So we're just very happy, very excited, and we can't wait for all the Venom Inc. fans to hear it, man. It's just patience. We have to be patient now. While we argue about how loud the tambourine should be on chorus 2 of song 4. No.
That's funny. That was going to be my next question.
How much tambourine?
More cowbell.
with the mini
Oh,
LP.
we made a conscious effort to not put any cowbell on the record. With tambourine and eggs, baby. Tambourine and eggs.
Man, do you go to sleep at night and you're like, man, I should have changed this or that in that song?
Well, I would if I slept. No. So what happens when I'm in the middle of production on a record, on any band's record, but even more so with Venom Inc., is I fall asleep with the songs looping in my head, and I have the day's fresh mixes on my phone, earbuds, car listening, phone listening, studio listening. The hi-hat isn't loud enough right here. Oh, Mark wants the toms to have a big reverb on this punch section. Tony says the bass needs turned up in this part and to put a delay on that part of the guitar solo. And, we, all day. And, there's the 6-hour time difference. So those guys start messaging me at like 4 a.m. my time. And I'm not complaining, hey, they know I sleep till about 6 a.m. and then wake up and work till about midnight or 1 or 2. They'll, hey, Curran, on this song here at 37 seconds, can you check this part? Hey, what about, and it's all just part and parcel of each guy in this band only wants it to be as awesome as it can possibly fucking be. When we were doing the basic tracking, and really what we were worried about getting the best takes of were Mark's drums, because we knew we'd have to go back and like redo the bass, and I'd have to like get my guitar parts firmed up and all that. So we were really playing in the room together and getting that live feel that we get as a trio, that great energy that we all share together on stage in the studio. But we were all worried about the drums. And Mark, we'd have 7 or 8 takes of each song, and he would be agonizing over like, well, at this part, this drum, this snare roll is better than the one over here in this take. And we were, going through all the bits and pieces and all the parts and all the sections and everything. And, Mark kept apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I'm being a pain in the ass, and I know I'm probably thinking too much about it, but I just want it to be awesome. It's the first, it's my first record as the drummer for Venom Inc. And it's Curran for you. It's the first record for you as the guitar player of Venom Inc. And, we all have that attitude of, this little mini LP is the beginning of a much longer statement, of what we are as a band, as a 3-piece, as Venom Inc. We made that statement in December at the Bloodstock Winter Gathering, where we played Ave in its entirety from start to finish and nothing else. We played a Venom Inc. record from start to finish, and it went over killer. The crowd went crazy. The other bands that were there, were complimentary and excited and this and that. And we knew that was kind of a risk, because, people are out there saying that, Tony's leaning on, shit he shouldn't be leaning on, playing songs he shouldn't play, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, we don't have to do that. We play those songs. I like playing those classic songs, but, Tony has a right to play those songs. He was in fucking Venom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fuck you. He was in Venom from 1988 or 89 to 92, 93. They put out how many records? A couple of records, an EP, and a live album as Venom. So, it wasn't like, Sammy versus Dave, where Sammy didn't want to do any Dave stuff. It was, hey, I'm in Venom. We got to play these old classic songs that even I like, blah, blah, blah. So, and now it would be wrong, shitty, and rude of me to say, well, we're not playing any of those old songs, when you get 13-year-old kids that pay their money to come see Venom Inc. play, and they hold up their Spotify playlist at the front barricade, and they want you to play Don't Burn the Witch. I'm going to tell that kid to fuck off. No, I'm going to walk up to Tony and go, hey, there's a kid out here with his phone wants us to play Don't Burn the Witch. It's not in our set. Can we play it? And Tony's like, yeah, we'll play it next. All right, cool.
Hell
And
yeah.
that's a true story. That happened on the European tour last year.
Nice.
It was crazy, but that's the kind of thing, man.
Yeah.
That hey, it's Venom Inc., baby. It's Venom Inc.
That's a good problem to have. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, just to have that kind of catalog and just kind of being able to bring the music around the world.
So exciting and cool to get to like you said, to have access to all of these incredible songs from a legacy that goes all the way back to 1981 all the way up to present day. And to have, again, it's crazy to me, and I'm still new to the whole history of of being in Venom Inc. I'm new, and then being a little part of the Venom legacy of playing those songs. They're great songs, but to have, again, 12 and 13-year-old kids come up to me after a show and say things like, thank you for playing Witching Hour. Thank you for playing Bloodlust. Your music has saved my life.
Wow.
What? Wait a minute. So first of all, I wasn't playing guitar when that stuff was written. You weren't born when that shit was written. You're 13 years old. How is your life so hard that a song like Bloodlust kept you from killing yourself? And I'm glad you didn't kill yourself, Junior. Come here. Let's do a picture. Let's do an autograph. I mean, awesome. But, it's not, it's just crazy to me. I feel like I'm off on a tangent here, but it's such a heavy, awesome thing to get to be a part of. And I wouldn't want to not play those songs if the people that pay to come see me play, come see Venom Inc. play, they want to hear that stuff. Hell yeah, I'm going to play you that stuff, because you might not get to hear it any other way. I don't know how much the other, the former members, current members of Venom or whatever is going on, how much they're going to tour. I don't know. Do they all get in a van and tour the US for 2 months? I don't know. I know we do. Love it. I love doing it. So, how often can I go around the world? As many times as people want to come see us play, fuck you, put me on a plane, let's go.
Yeah, because I'm like, wow, I mean, South America,
Yep.
Europe, and US. Is there any other place you guys still want to play?
Well, I've got a personal hit list myself. I want to play Japan, Australia, all of Southeast Asia. I'd love to play in. I want to headline Budokan, baby.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, honestly,
come on, dude. Venom Inc. headlines Wembley.
Yes, absolutely. We'll go on after WrestleMania.
Sweet.
No,
you're the Ultimate Warrior running down to the Venom set.
No, Macho Man's my guy. Macho Man is my guy.
Right.
Great worker. Great worker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't even get me started on what goes on in the squared circle, baby. Yeah. We're not doing the rest of the interview that way.
No. That's the 11 p.m. That's the 11 p.m.
That's the 11. It gets a little blue. Yeah, so there are parts of the world that I've never been lucky enough to get to. And I think, with the new records coming out, that's going to happen. I'd love to do a nice big full tour of Canada. Mexico, I've only ever played one show there. That was with Venom Inc., the MXMF Festival, which was a blast. We're already talking about going back to South America and doing trying to organize like a Mexico, Central America, South America run, like maybe a full month of all of that. tie it in with Canada. I mean, you know, I'm not going to complain about being in a bus or being in a van. Let's go. So for me, you know, if I can get to some new countries, that's fun. And if I go to the same countries, that's still fun. I love it. So, yeah.
Brian wants to know what is the closest that you've come to death.
He does love this question.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The closest that I've like actual death or flirted with death. Actual death was food poisoning back in, I think, 2011.
Oh,
I was in the hospital for 7 days
Oh,
after being sick for like 5 or 6. I finally, yes, dear, I'll let you take me to the hospital. And, you know, found out that my appendix, spleen, gallbladder, appendix, and there's something else in me that were about to explode from the food poisoning. But that was the closest I've ever come to actual death type death. Flirted with death was an idiot thing that I did that I still get the shakes and the trembles about. I was in Annihilator. We were on tour opening for Judas Priest. And for some idiot reason, well, not an idiot reason, we were all drunk. Not Jeff Waters, he was the sober guy in the band. But myself and the singer and the drummer decided that we were going to climb out on the balcony edge and climb around the building to get into Jeff's hotel room, which his balcony was right next to my balcony, 9 stories up in, I want to say, Switzerland. And I instigated that, and everybody followed me. Yeah, I still get the, what if I had slipped? What if somebody else had slipped? You fall 9 stories to your death. So, you know, yeah.
Hey,
Idiot. And also the fear of following a charismatic leader over the edge. Anyway, yeah, so that was flirting with death.
It's almost top of the hour, so I'm gonna kick it right back to Jay so he can take.
Totally, brother. No worries. And the funny thing about that segment is because you had mentioned Canada, and then you just talked this story about Annihilator, because I did want to talk a little bit about Curran Murphy history and
Sure.
just time in Annihilator and stuff. Because I mean, Waking the Fury is a killer record, man. Like, I'm a Torn, Ritual, and Nothing to Me personally. Those are like 3 of like my like real go-to tracks when it comes to that record. So I definitely wanted to ask you just about like, just, looking back over that time in Annihilator and like, what your fondest memories of that. But then I also wanted to ask you a curiosity question, of course, based on your feelings on the matter and what you'd like to talk about when it came for All For You. Because, at that time when that record came out, like, you are credited with, playing on that record while not officially credited as a member of the band. So I was a little bit just curious as a fan, like you're down as like credited for like additional guitars on that record. And so I was just kind of curious. Yeah, I was just kind of curious, at least going based off of like I'm familiar with the record because I have it and I've listened to it many times. And then when I was my CDs, from moving from my apartment to my house, my CDs are packed away, so I looked it up, and this might be the Wikipedia curse, but they have but they have you down as additional guitars as the credits for that. And that's not meant to go anywhere, so my apologies in advance. But when it came to your time in Annihilator around that, just kind of an overall question, how do you look back at Annihilator? Because again, I love Waking the Fury. I love those tracks in particular. And then when you also look back around the release of All For You and your time, when you felt your time had come to a close in that band.
So, there's like with any band, you know, when you don't get called back for the next tour, which is kind of how Annihilator works. You don't
Oh, gotcha. There are a lot of people
you
in
know,
that band.
Randy Black, who plays in Destruction now and is still a friend of mine, and Russ Berquist, who was the bass player in the band at the time. When I joined the band, they said, "Well, you'll never get fired from the band." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, you won't get the call for the next tour." I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, that's just kind of how Jeff works." I'm like, "Oh, all right, well, okay."
Oh, gotcha.
And and that actually is what happened. So the All For You thing, I at that time, my understanding was I was still a full band member of Annihilator, and I submitted a couple of songs for consideration for the album that didn't get chosen, and then Jeff had me play a couple of guitar solos on the record.
Mhm.
If I'm remembering correctly, I'm not trying to talk out of school or nothing.
Yep.
But then we did the video shoot for it, and then we did the Judas Priest tour, and then that was it for me. Jeff had I don't know what his plan was after that, after the Judas Priest tour, but the drummer that he had hired for that tour for the All For You stuff was a student of Mike Mangini, who played drums on that record. And when we were shooting the video for All For You, Mangini and I roomed together. And Mangini told me the story about this guy that he chose to play all his parts. He's like, I got this guy, he's from Boston, because Mangini's also from Boston, as everybody knows. And he was telling me about this guy, and I'm like, well, why'd you pick this guy? And he gave me the list of reasons and everything. And then, we went and did the Judas Priest tour, and that guy, Robert Falzano, who became the drummer for me in Shatter Messiah, he and I are still very good friends to this day. The next tour run started to get planned, but I wasn't getting emails about it. But Bob was. And Bobler and I were working on the debut Shadow Messiah album at my studio. And he's like, "Oh man, I just got the tour dates from Jeff." I'm like, "You did?" I didn't. And so that's when I knew that, like, all right, Jeff's had it with me. But the other side of that though is that the singer Dave Padden, that we had gotten after Jeff had fired Joe Camo from Liege Lord and Overkill. Dave is an incredible guitar player, and he can play and sing at the same time. And so I'm sitting there going, well, I can understand Jeff doesn't have to pay 5 guys. He can pay 3 guys and keep my money for himself. Like, all right, okay. It's all dollars and cents, but no harm, no foul. I had a lot of fun playing in that band. And I think for me, it was really, really important that I got into that kind of band, into Annihilator, where, Jeff Waters is a recovering alcoholic and was very uptight about people drinking before playing, and anybody getting too out of control with booze and alcohol, this, that, and the other, or drugs and whatnot. And at that point in my life, it was really important to kind of be in that type of band, where the guys that were drinking were just doing like having a couple beers with dinner, having a couple beers after the show, not getting blackout, fucked up, stupid, crazy drunk.
Yeah.
So, and then, again, coming from the band prior that I played in to Annihilator, a whole nother style and a whole nother level of technical precision in rhythm guitar playing and timing and guitar sound and all these things that people revere Annihilator for. Having to learn that other level of playing was so awesome and beneficial and important to my guitar playing and my creativity and my being an artist and continuing my career as a musician. So You know, the things that were not awesome about Annihilator pale in comparison to all the stuff that was super awesome.
Yeah.
About getting to be an Annihilator, play guitar in Annihilator, you know, work with Jeff Waters. I mean, hell, dude, we opened for Judas Priest when Rob Halford came back. I was on the fucking Painkiller stage.
Right, dude.
Opening. So yeah, Annihilator sucked, dude. It was fucking terrible. No, it was fucking great, and it ended before it could become ungreat, and that's all right, you know. And I have no personal heat or ill will or any shit with Jeff Waters, none whatsoever, you know. So it's all good.
No, absolutely, brother, for sure. And I definitely do want to talk a little bit too about the other band that you had a tenure with as well, because I became familiar with Jeff being an Arch Enemy fan.
Yeah.
So that was actually, while I was very, very familiar with the band not in question, but you know what I mean, that while I'm very, very familiar with the band in question and love their music, I got more familiar with Jeff just being an Arch Enemy fan, not only from what Angela did, but I saw Lisa back when she was with the Agonists, because she was opening up for Sin for Sin and Doro Pesh when they came through Baltimore. So I saw Lisa when she was in the Agonist before joining Arch Enemy, and then already being an Arch Enemy fan because of Angela, and then seeing, hey, they have this new female lead singer, Elisa, who I just saw with her previous band. So, wow, that's really cool. And the funny little mid grade of that is I'm a huge Misfits fan and have been for many, many years, and have been very fortunate to interview Doyle multiple times, who is Elisa's boyfriend and longtime boyfriend now.
Cool.
So, obviously, if the Metal Summoners haven't picked up on it yet, I'm referring to Jeff Loomis. I'm referring to Nevermore.
Yeah.
And you had not only a tenure, but a couple touring tenures with them.
Yeah, I did.
And so I would love to just hear about that, not only because, you know, I'm genuinely interested as somebody who's familiar with the Nevermore music, but Nevermore is also kind of back in the news recently.
I know, it's so awesome.
So, I mean, your opinion is genuinely interesting to me, not only as a former member, but what you want to say, if anything, about the potential current situation.
Well, want to clear up one little misspeak that you made there. I was never an official member of Nevermore.
I meant that as a touring.
I was always just their touring guitar player. So I want to be very clear. I have no bad blood or anything in regards to anything to do with Nevermore.
Yes, sir.
I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to bullshit them. Like, oh, I was in Nevermore. I played guitar for Nevermore. I was their touring guitar player on 2 different occasions. One in '97 when Pat O'Brien quit to join Cannibal Corpse.
Mm-hmm.
I played for the Politics of Ecstasy tour in Europe. Then they got Tim Calvert from Forbidden, a hero of mine and one of my favorite bands in the world. And how crazy was it that I got to do a triple co-headlining tour with Forbidden as the new guitar player of Venom Inc. in South America just a couple months ago. All right, tying it all together, kids. And then when Tim Calvert left Nevermore to become a commercial airline pilot and fly 747s, totally fucking cool. They asked me to come back and play for the all of the Dead Heart and a Dead World tour, and then just a couple of shows for Enemies of Reality. But yeah, I was only ever their touring guitar player. I just don't want anyone to think that I'm putting on airs or trying to, or whatever.
Oh no, of course. And Curran, it would never, of course, my plan to mislead anybody that way. So that's also a misspeak on me, because I definitely know that it was a touring situation. So of course, Metal Summoners, my apologies to you guys as well, because we definitely always want to make sure that this is a show about love and understanding, but more importantly, like clarity.
But now let's get down to brass tacks. I am so happy and so excited for Jeff and Van. I've been watching the footage from the Istanbul show, and I am over the moon excited for how great. I'm going to mispronounce his name, and I'm Barzum or Barzum. I apologize in advance. Man, oh man, he sounded phenomenal. The band sounded incredible. It makes me so happy that music is being played again. That the singer they've selected really, to me, is doing Worrell's lyrics and vocals absolute passionate justice. I am over the fucking moon. I know I've said it a couple times already. So now that that's out of the way, I can't wait for their new record. I can't wait. I hope that I can run into them on the festival stuff this summer if we're both playing at the same festival. I'd love to congratulate Jeff and Van and get to see him perform live. It would be really, really exciting for me, just as a fan of what Nevermore is. All these years, I still am a huge fan of that band. Jeff's musicianship, Jeff's writing, Worrell's lyrics, Worrell's skill and ability, and just what that band was and is, and hopefully is gonna be moving forward. So yeah. So now you're gonna have to ask me questions again about it. Now I've gotten the two other things out of the way.
No, absolutely. No, not a problem at all, brother, for sure. And when it comes to like Shatter Messiah, the one thing that I find like super interesting that I love to talk to guests about, when it comes to a previous history, is when they look at something that could have, started off or shaped or kind of educated the potential for songwriting nowadays. When you look at Shatter Messiah and things like, Hail the New Cross and stuff like that, like, how do you look back at Shatter Messiah and the songs and the guitar playing and the riffs at the time with that band that may have impacted the way that you do Venom Inc. songs now, knowing that there's a history that preceded you, but still doing yourself justice in your own playing style? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So for me, I just write how I write. I don't know if I have like a predetermined kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do know is that with Venom Inc., with it being a band and not like one guy does everything, which is what Shatter Messiah was. I wrote everything in that band, all the riffs, all the music, all the lyrics, melody lines, vocal patterns, everything. Robert Falzano was the drummer in that band with me. He would help me with arrangements, and then he would also write and compose his own drum parts. But as a team, that's how we would work for that band. With Venom Inc., Tony specifically wants it to be a band. He wants each of us to have our personality, our own creativity, our own vibe, if you will, in the band. And the mini LP is an interest. I think that'll be an interesting introduction to how I am as a guitar player and as a composer, how Mark is as a drummer, and a creative individual. And everybody already kind of, knows how cool Tony's shit is. So on the full length album, I think it's still gonna clearly be Venom Inc. I don't see it changing from what that is. It's going to become something more because I'm a different guitar player than Dunn. I compose differently. I think differently. I write differently. I have a different skill set as far as how I play the guitar. Not better or anything like that, just different. I'm a different beast. Jackson is a wildly different drummer than anything I've ever played with before. His heroes are, Bill Ward, Ginger Baker, Mitch Mitchell, swinging motherfuckers from the 70s, almost jazz guys. And, but he loves playing metal. So, like his drum tracks all have this really cool swing to them, and it's going to be really exciting and really interesting to see when we start creating together again how it's going to go, what it's going to be. I just know it's going to be awesome, but it's still going to have that Venom Inc. stamp. It's going to have, Tony Dolan's voice on it. It's going to have his heavy bass tone on it. It's going to have, that inherent, Venom Inkiness. But it's also going to have me in it. It's going to have Jackson in it. It's going to be great. So just excited about all that.
Absolutely, man, for sure. Angel, let's kick back up to you, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. Curious to know. Wow, just kind of looking ahead. Doing 4 new releases, where a lot of bands now just kind of do the thing with just releasing EPs a little bit at a time. Do you guys ever become curious to kind of road test some of the songs?
Oh, we lost Angel here.
Oh, I know where he was going with that in case we did lose him.
Fire away.
Are you still there, buddy? No worries. He'll come back in. I know where he was going with. Oh,
okay,
there he
is. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah,
there we go. That's
good. I knew what question you were asking, so I was going to cover the ground. But no, absolutely, roll with it, Angel. Let's oh shit, come back. No worries. I got him covered.
All right. Okay.
Do you, when it comes to new music in a band, just in general, let alone right now? Angel, I know you're getting situated with us, but I'm just going to roll with this real quick, and then I'll let you take it back over. When it comes to new music, do you road test it with the fans and see what songs are getting a reaction when it comes to upcoming new releases?
So with my prior bands, with like 72 Legions and Shadow Messiah, we never did that. We would write the record, and then put it out and then go on tour. So with Venom Inc., we haven't done it yet. You know what I mean? So the new music that's on the mini LP, I have the sinking suspicion that we will probably be playing every single song off this mini LP on tour. Sinking suspicion. I'm not writing the set list. Tony does that. But I'd be shocked if we didn't, because we all are coming out of the studio so high and excited about what we've recorded and how great it sounds. We are going to want to play all of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the other thing is, as Venom Inc., I half-heartedly joke, we can play an hour and a half set and still play for another 3 hours after that. We have enough songs that we all know that we could do the Prince thing. We could play our show, cool off, take a shower, and go to an after hours club and start playing at 2 a.m. and play till 6 a.m. and not run out of songs. And I joke like, oh, we should do that. Tony, we should go do that. Meanwhile, Mark's in the back corner, like, covered in sweat, dying. He's like, "Shut up, Curran." No. Just take a nap. I'll wake you up when it's time to play, man. So
it's because Tony sent you nearly 60 songs to learn.
Well, I think I'm up to at least 70 or 80 that I know now.
Oh, good Lord.
So yeah. But so when we're playing live, we haven't had the luxury to like whip out anything new yet, because we haven't worked on anything new until these last the last 2 weeks here in the studio. It's all been, hey, we have this tour we have to do, we have these shows that contracts are signed 2 years ago, things like that. So I feel like, not clearing the decks, but honoring commitments that were made before my time in the band. And so now we've got a really exciting Black Label Society tour coming up. We've got festival dates coming up. At some point, I think the release date they're trying to figure out, is it going to happen during the Black Label Society tour or after it? Again, I'm the guitar player. Where's my guitar? Where's the stage? Okay, let's go. That's as much as they want me involved. Rightfully so. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll see, as we progress, as a band now, even further, this last little puzzle piece of, hey, can we work in the studio, get together? Can we be creative together and not kill each other? Can we, all the great stuff that we have happen live on stage and on tour, can we have that happen in a studio? We figured that out now. Yeah, we can. And it's awesome. So we'll see what's next.
Absolutely, for sure. Right back to you, Angel. I was just covering the gap until you came back.
No, that actually answered my question about the set list and touring.
Cool.
No, absolutely. Still your segment, brother. I can take it away if you need me to.
Man, or why not do, I think bands are doing this, a cover band that leaves time to do more of your songs still.
Wait, do what?
Or start like a cover band, like Venom cover band, where you're opening up for yourself.
Well, no. So I've been kicking the idea around, harassing Tony about it. It's like, there's so many songs that people want to hear. Obviously we can't play everything in an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes. Why don't we do something crazy like double headers, like set up at a club for 2 days in a row, like the Metallica no repeat weekend thing.
Yeah.
And do that. And, offer, like package deal, both nights, this, that, and the other. And we split, everything up over 2 days, and then we can play everything. I wouldn't want to insult Venom Inc. by doing a Venom cover band. You know what I mean? Like Venom Inc. to me really is that initial kind of thing that Tony had talked about when it was put together, 11 years ago, where it's, it's incorporating all these, different guys that have played in Venom, the new music that, Tony and Dunn were writing together. And, even some of the classic shit that Tony did with Adam Kraft, he wanted to try to incorporate that stuff into Venom Inc. Like, hey, these great thrash songs that nobody ever got to hear, that, people come up to Tony, in Europe with an Adam Kraft, yellow 45 from 1982. And he's like, what the hell is this? Oh, it's a single that you put out. He's like, we did? The label put shit out he didn't know. And will you sign it? Sure. Fans, hey man, if they want to hear that stuff, I'll play it. I got no ego about it. It's all good and it's all fun. So I'll play Adam Kraft, I'll play Venom, I'll play Venom Inc. And it's all exciting to me, and it's all great music. So who should complain? Why? Come on.
Right.
Changing the set list, I mean, that's awesome. I remember one band that did a Vegas residency. They played the same fucking set list. And
Every night.
yeah, that was definitely. They played the same fucking set list.
Well, yeah, I mean, I won't judge more, hey, whatever. But I mean, for us, it's exciting. It's exciting to be in the dressing room and what song do we want to start with tonight? Well, I don't know, Tony. What do you want to do? Oh, how about this? Oh, yeah, that one might be okay. Wait, this one might be better. And then building the set off of that, or in Santiago, Chile, on the last South America run. Or no, sorry, Lima, Peru is the first show. We didn't get a sound check. We didn't get a monitor check. None of the equipment was right. It was a real like kind of fly by your ass show. And we got up and we started playing, and we went into play Infinitum, and no monitors, couldn't hear anything. Mark couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear Tony. And we train wrecked, like just off the rails.
Oh.
Tony stops the song midway through. They're like, wait, stop, no. And he looks, he's like, okay, we can't play any of the fast shit tonight because we can't hear anything. And I think he called out "Don't Burn the Witch," or he called out something, a slower song. And we ended up just like literally we ignored the set list for another hour. And just play like, all right, what are we playing tonight? And like I'm standing there like just waiting to hear this. All right, Blackened or the Priest, go. It's like, all right, and being ready for it. So it's fun. It's fun when it's kind of a little off the rails like that. Makes you think on your toes. But that's part of the fun for us is not being stale on stage. And again, I'm not talking shit on anybody else. I'm just saying for us, for Venom Inc., being able to be that kind of crazy, just pull one out of the hat, or hey, we're going to change the set on stage. Yeah, we got it written out. Fuck that shit. We're doing something different. Okay, cool. So it's fun.
Awesome, Jason. Kick it right back up to you.
Absolutely. No problem, man. Curran, just as a casual and respectful curiosity question for any metal summoners that are familiar with just the history of Venom and ultimately what comes into Venom Inc., just a curiosity question to yourself. Do you have any personal relationship, or have you ever met Kronos and what he's doing with Venom as the name, the Venom? I was just kind of curious if if you're a Venom guy from back in the day, and if you'd ever met Kronos just being a peer in this black metal scene.
So I've never met Kronos. I've never met him. And to be honest with you, I'm going to blow all my street cred here, kids. I didn't really know Venom music until Tony sent me the song list.
Sure.
And that's because that's just from the era and the time that I came up in. My first band was Metallica. And my second band was Megadeth. And then I got into Anthrax, and then Iron Maiden, and then Forbidden, and then Testament. And then, so I came in on the generation that was inspired by Venom.
Gotcha.
And I've met quite a few of those guys. And the stories they tell me about how much Venom inspired them, what Venom meant to them. And then, the kindness and generosity that they've treated me with.
Yeah.
Playing those songs, they're like, hey, Curran, you're doing it right. You're holding that Venom spirit right by how you're playing the songs, and we talking to you, hanging out with you, and about how you agonized over the flanger speed on this part of this song. And it's like, well, shit, that shit's important, man. I remember when I went and saw Metallica play, and they didn't play that one part of that one song the way it was on the record and how devastated I was as a 17-year-old kid that wanted to hear Eye of the Beholder, and all I got was the opening riff on the medley they did. And it's like, I love Metallica, but God damn it, I'd rather hear all of Eye of the Beholder than Holier Than Thou. You know what I mean? Anyway, but obviously Venom and what Kronos, Venom and Kronos, one and the same. They're synonymous. He's doing what he wants to do with Venom. And the two guys that are in his band, the guitar player, his stage name is Rage, and I can't remember the drummer's name. And they've been a band for 17 fucking years.
Yeah.
With like Kronos has had those two guys for like 17 years, I think. Saw some interview with the guitar player last week. And dude, that's that band. That's Venom. In my estimation, that's Venom.
Totally.
And Kronos is still putting out records. They're putting out the records they want to put out. They're making records the way they want to make them. And the Venom fans that love that's awesome, dude. And I like that new song that they put out. Oh God, what the hell is it called? Lay Down Your Soul.
Lay Down Your Soul. Yeah.
Right. It's a bunch of callbacks to a bunch of classic Venom songs and stuff. And Venom fans love it. There's some people like, oh, that's cheesy and stupid. Hey, man.
Nah.
Is it cool? Do you dig it? Is it, you fucking hear that thing and you fucking dig it? Then dig it, man. Don't worry about what anybody else fucking says. And in my head, as an artist, like I wouldn't write a song and put out a song that I didn't like or didn't believe in or thought was stupid. So for me, they've got to dig it. They've got to be into it. Like, hey, we're going to do this fucking fun song that embraces and shows our acknowledgement of the past, but in a new way, with cleaner production and better playing and all of these kinds of things that come with years of experience and all this. Man, more power to them. Mm-hmm. In my head, there's no competition. There's no like, oh, people should only like Venom Inc. because we're doing it better and more true. Fuck you. People want to hear somebody say that shit or think that shit or what. Look, I'm having a great time in Venom Inc.
Yes.
We're doing, we're writing the new music that we're writing, recording it, having a great time as three guys in a band together, getting to tour the world, getting to play for fans, getting to play all the Venom Inc. music, all the Venom music that we want to play, and we're having a great time with it. And Kronos is doing Venom, and I have to assume he's having a great time with it because he keeps fucking doing it.
Totally.
I mean, if you're fucking miserable, if you fucking hate it, why would you keep crucifying yourself? You know what I mean? So anyway.
No, absolutely, brother. So mostly because Venom plays dominantly in Europe, because they really have that draw in Europe. I've only seen Venom once. I saw them 10 years ago and it was still great. That's one of the reasons I've always held, Kronos. Simply speaking for myself, I've always held Kronos in the same respect that I hold Tony, that I held Mantis and Abaddon when I met them in that Baltimore show when you and I talked off the air about, right. Look, as a fan, they treated me with respect. They took photos with me. It was great. And then the Baltimore show, when I came out with my wife, you and Jackson and Tony again, incredibly gracious to us. And you really made us feel like family. And we really, really appreciate that. When the only time that I've been able to see Venom was at Maryland Death Fest 10 years ago. And it was fantastic. Like, it was really, really great. It was raining a bit, but I'm like, no, this is Venom. I'm finally getting to see Venom live, and I haven't gotten to see them yet. And this is fantastic, and I'm going to soak up every moment of it.
And to me, that's all that everything you just said there is the whole thing for fans.
Yes.
So I don't know how often Venom tours the US or if they even do. And then, people, you see people online, and again, I take all of this with a grain of salt, but
Yeah.
you still see it. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother Tony. But the reality is, Tony loves to tour.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tour enough. and Jackson likes to tour. So we're out on the road as much as we can be out on the road. I'll be out on the road. Let's go. I love playing shows. I fucking love it. And I'm in a band that has a legacy and a history that goes all the way back to 1981.
Right.
It would be super shitty, super arrogant, and egotistical to not play those songs. Imagine Metallica saying they're not going to play anything off of Kill 'Em All anymore. Oh, fuck that record. That's bullshit. That's not what we're about. We're only playing stuff off of Death Magnetic or 72 Seasons or Saint Anger. Fuck you. We're not playing anything off of And Justice for All.
A portal to hell would open.
Or how about this? We can't play any songs that Cliff Burton played on because Cliff died. Or we can't play any songs Jason Newsted played on because Jason quit the band.
Mm-hmm.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Fucking nonsense. Somebody pays to come see you play. They put down their hard-earned money for me to play guitar. This and I'm gonna be an asshole and not fucking play Witching Hour or Primeval or Inferno or Infinitum or There's Only Black because I didn't write those songs, I didn't play on those records. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Dude, I am honored and privileged. The sheer weight of like these people came here to hear these songs, not to see me, to hear these songs. I got to play this shit right. I got to play my ass off. I have to, or I'm a fucking liar and should be walked out to the back and beaten about the head and face until I get my shit together. Totally. All right, I'm off my soapbox. So I applaud Kronos. I applaud Venom. I want them to go out and be as kick-ass as they fucking want to be. Go Absolutely. Get it, fellas. Shit. You know what would be hilarious? What would be amazing? A Venom and a Venom Inc. tour.
Oh, dude, testify.
Would that be the fucking craziest, coolest fucking thing in the world?
Curran.
And at the end of the night, like all of us get up on stage and like play like 4 or 5 songs together, and dude. Like Mark and their drummer rotate out on like breaks and shit, and the Rage guitar player and I, like we could do harmony solos. Like, dude, come on.
Bro, I would follow that tour. I would beg you for a job, even if it was something temporary, where it's like, dude, you need to set up my rig every night. I'm gonna be a hippie. I'm gonna be
a dirty communist hippie, and I'm gonna put it into the universe. I'm gonna manifest it.
You know what I would do?
But I mean, that's like, that I think that would be the most fun, hilarious, crazy, awesome, world splitting thing, and it would be amazing.
Dude, Venom and Venom Inc. and just call it the Suck the Poison Out tour or something like that. Like, bro, come on, man. That's absolutely fucking bitching. Absolutely. Karen, I got one more question in this segment, Angel, then I'm going to kick it up to you. But also, Metal Summoners, it is going to be that time. It is last call for alcohol. Kieran's been incredibly gracious with his time this evening. We're going to rock out with him for a little while longer, but we also do want to be incredibly respectful of his time as well.
I've still got like 6 or 7 beers in the fridge. We got time.
Oh, right on, dude. So we still have time with him, and we really
might get a little coffee. I might get a call from management tomorrow. Dude, you can't do interviews like that, man. I'm kidding.
Well, like I said, we won't tell anybody.
All
but,
right, fair enough.
but absolutely. But all the same, Metal Summoners, it is going to be last call for alcohol. So any final questions, comments, anything you want to ask Curran about Venom Inc., his tour, the upcoming music, or his history in music, don't be shy. Pump them into the comments. Angel and I will absolutely make sure that you guys are heard. But it is going to be that time, just to be respectful of his time and all the courtesies that he's given us so far. But we are going to rock out for a little while longer. And before I kick it back up to Angel, Curran, the one thing I want to ask you real quick, of course, respectfully and based off what you're allowed to announce, when it comes to the upcoming Venom Inc. music, do we have titles for these records? Are we allowed to know about what they're called yet?
We have titles you're not allowed to know yet.
Understandable.
And actually, I specifically asked all the people in charge. I'm like, all right, so I'm doing this interview. Like, what can I talk about? They're like, don't do this. They sent me a list of stuff.
Totally.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I would love to spill those beans, but I am verboten.
No, absolutely. And and Angel and I both understand that. We always know that we have the ability.
I'm just killing Angel over here. Am I that much of a clown shoe?
No, hell no.
I was gonna ask, are you guys doing a disco song?
Well, yeah, okay, boy.
Are we going to get Venom Inc.'s version of "Are You Made for Loving You, Baby"?
Well, we actually what was the song that we jazzed up and disco-fied at a sound check on the US tour? I think it was "Live Like an Angel, Die Like a Devil." We did an almost bossa nova version for sound check. It's on the interwebs. You can find it on YouTube. But no, we do have an acid jazz B-side that is an outtake we're gonna release. It'll be on the record. It's terrible.
No, for sure, brother. Again, this also completely might be based off of what you're allowed to announce as well.
Yep.
When it comes to basically release dates, is there a rough idea that you're allowed to let us know for when we can kind of expect this stuff?
So I don't have specific release dates.
Sure.
So for an album, from the release date, there's typically like a 3 to 4 month buildup. So like you have to have the album delivered 3 or 4 months before the date you want it released on.
Right.
So you kind of work backwards from that. Like, okay, if we have to deliver the album by this date, we have to have the masters done by this, we have to have the mix done by this, we have the artwork done by this. All these things you kind of have to work out from when you want the album to come out. What I do know, the idea, we have the Kiss FM, the live in Sao Paulo Kiss FM sessions that we recorded that we're waiting. I did final mix on them and master today, and I sent those to Tony. I'm waiting to hear approval or mix notes. Hey, turn this up, turn this down, this delay, turn that off. Whatever mix notes Tony has for those 5 songs. And then once that's signed off on, that goes to, I guess, whoever is in charge after that. They're going to try to have that a special release on vinyl in Brazil, exclusive to Brazil first, before we get on the Black Label tour in June.
Okay. So
take that window, and that's the idea. I don't know if it'll happen. None of it's up to me. The studio tracks they've got that vibe that we have that I've been talking about, like with us in the studio and us live. And when we did that, we were all burned out from the South America run, tired, and Tony had heard his voice the night before, and it was the end of the tour, so we were all up late, having drinks and having a great time. And all of us hanging out, the Forbidden and Violence guys and us. We were all, till 6 a.m. And then the interview was at 10 a.m. and we had to play at noon. I flew home that night. Like I got done playing, packed up, and they drove me to the airport. It was crazy. It was rock and roll, baby.
Yes.
But the tracks sound really good. So, it's a matter of, is the mix done? Is the master good? And getting it to the label and them strategizing the release. And then, either that'll come out before we go on tour with Black Label Society or while we're on tour with Black Label Society in Europe. And then the mini LP, I think the idea is to try to have that come out while we're on tour with Black Label or right after we get done with Black Label. I'm not sure.
Sure.
But again, it's all mystical. You finish the record, you hand it off to the people you're supposed to hand it off to, and then kind of you oh, the record's out. Oh, cool. I didn't even know. It's like that kind of thing.
Totally, brother. And
So-
and before I kick it up to Angel, go ahead and pick it up right after this segment, because you said a word that Angel and I absolutely adore, and you said the word vinyl. Now,
Oh yeah, baby.
not only do we love the word vinyl, because that absolutely just brings up the fact that Angel and I, look, we put our money where our mouth is. We are merch people. We genuinely love to support bands.
Awesome.
So, of course, with anybody who's familiar with Venom Inc. or anybody who's unfamiliar with Venom Inc., which is totally okay as well, because this is your introduction to Venom Inc., is that, for example, exactly. And hey, Curran, you've been a fucking blast, bro. So we really appreciate that. But dude, for anybody who's familiar, of course, with streaming services, just using iTunes as an example, there's only Black and Ave are both available on those services. But getting back on point, Angel and I are physical media guys. We grew up that way. We still love that. So
Me too.
being that I saw Venom Inc. recently, like I had said off the air with you, and also said on the show, you guys definitely make it worth a fan's while at your merch booth. So for upcoming music, you mentioned vinyl. I can assume that means potentially CDs as well. But for physical media buyers, is that you and Tony's plans is to make sure that the albums, considering you're putting out so much new music this year, that the albums are planned to be released as physical products as well?
Yes, 100% yes. I was proven that on the European tour that physical media is not dead. It's making a full fuck you comeback. We got a shipment of cassettes.
Oh shit! Fuck yeah!
Now that's breaking news.
Cassettes. I laughed. Tony was all, he's like, oh, we got the cassettes from Nuclear Blast. I'm like, wait, what?
Are you getting 8 tracks too?
That's well, if you buy the super ultra platinum meet and greet package, you get an 8-track cassette. We beat you to death with it.
No, fuck yeah.
No, and so there were cassettes of like Temples of Ice, Wastelands, what was the EP that they did in the 90s? God, I can't even fucking remember. But cassettes, we got it midway through the tour in Poland, and they were all gone by the end of the tour. All gone. We sold every single fucking cassette. And so yeah, physical media is not dead. And I'm proof of that because I wanted to buy the Testament Souls of Black remix vinyl when they came through town recently, and they didn't have any.
Oh, damn.
And the merch guy was like, yeah, we were supposed to get them. They didn't show up. Everybody's been asking. They'd been on tour for like 2 weeks or something. And really, I want the vinyl. just because I'm a huge Testament fan, Alex Skolnick is one of my heroes.
Amazing.
And but the reason why I haven't bought it online is because I don't know if there's a download code, because I got to have it on my phone too, right? I got to have the MP3 download too, right?
Yes.
But I want the fucking vinyl, baby, and I'll spend $30. I'll spend $35 on a fucking piece of vinyl. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, as far as like modern records, I don't know how much of a sonic difference vinyl actually makes, but I know that like all my Hendrix records that I got, because I'm a huge Hendrix nerd. I own Are You Experienced? I have like 30 copies of it between cassette and CD.
Oh, wow.
And I've never heard that record until my oldest son bought me a copy on vinyl for a Christmas present. And that's when I knew, like, holy shit, vinyl is great. It sounds so good. I've never heard this record before.
Are you talking about the Tear Your Soul Apart EP, or are you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. On cassette. Cassette.
Nice.
All gone. All sold. Every single last fucking copy sold. Crazy. So, vinyl, obviously it's made a huge comeback over the last 5-6 years, maybe decade or whatever. And it, for me, as a metal fan, when I buy, the last Metallica record I bought, 72 Seasons, I bought the vinyl only. Came with a download code, so I got it on my phone. But I got the vinyl. That's what I bought. I didn't buy that CD. I want the vinyl. I don't know why. I just do. Fuck it. Forces me to sit down and listen to the record in my downstairs room with the wife. We'll have some beers. We'll listen to music. She'll throw on all her favorite Iron Maiden records. I'll throw on all my Metallica records. It's great. So there's something awesome about vinyl.
I mean, not only just the way that it sounds, of course, on the record player. I mean, the fact of the matter is there's vinyl frames out there, and I've got a lot of vinyls that are framed around my house.
Cool.
And that is definitely something that's super awesome. So not only, of course, yes, the ability to have the new Venom Inc. Album on my phone, but having the potential to have any new album, whether it's something that you guys release on your website or also something that a fan or myself can buy at a show that you guys can sign, that I can frame and put right up on my wall, is always incredibly appealing.
Well, and so I mean, that's the other great thing about physical media is, you own it. It's yours physically. I have it here. It's not something that, Apple can put on your phone whether you want it or not, or then take away. Mm-hmm. If they decide, that song is problematic, you can't have that song on your phone, we're taking that back, but I paid for it. Oh no, but we're taking it back. And Apple did that. I mean, when iTunes died and they went to iMusic or whatever the fuck that bullshit is.
Yeah.
All my iTunes, every song that I bought through iTunes, I don't own anymore. Couple grand in music. It's like, oh no, well you can still stream it. Yeah, but only if I have an account with you.
Yeah, I already had it.
I have an Android phone, so now I can't hear my songs that I bought because I don't want an iPhone 17 for $3,000. I have a Android for $200. So I can send text messages on and check my Instagram. What the fuck, man? Anyway, rant. But yes, physical media, baby, physical media. Who's let's see here. Let's Michelle Mills. Is that Michelle or Michael?
Nope, you got it, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Bam.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know when she checked in, but whatever. All right.
No, it's all good.
Oh no, hey, and then Angel picking up my slack.
No, absolutely, my friend, for sure. Angel, let me kick it up to you, my friend, as we prepare for our final little spins around the table.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
This guy's dying up here. Am I that much of a clown shoe?
No, you got me cracking up because I bought the iPhone 17.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Does it have a compass on it and like that fucking sewing kit that Rambo used? I mean,
Yes. Oh my God, Rambo, First Blood. This might be my new Karen. You might be my new best friend.
well, I'll come back next week. No, I'm just kidding. Pretty soon you got to be like, yeah,
Again, Metal Summoners. Remember the 11 p.m. show. Actually, we're past the 11 p.m. show.
guy won't shut up. How do we get rid of him? Oh, the internet. We ran out of the internet. Click.
The 1 p.m. show is definitely different than the 11 p.m. show.
I like Android. I mean, I was skeptical about switching to the damn iPhone, but then I had no choice. Because they stopped making the fucking Android phone that I liked so much. Because it was like a big screen, big everything, but it was Android.
I'm just anti-Apple. I don't like their sandbox. I don't like it. They make me play with their toys. I can't bring any of my own toys. So my studio runs on PC here.
Yeah, I'm not. But then again, I'm a hypocrite. I said I'm not the biggest Apple fan, but yeah, I bought the fucking phone. But
oh, you bought a phone. Who cares?
Yeah.
As long as it works.
It's not an indictment of you as a human being, sir. It's just a phone.
No, because I used to have a phone that I used to freaking cut off with I forgot before I switched to Verizon. Damn it, Jay, was it T-Mobile?
Yeah.
My son-in-law has the wife and I on T-Mobile. He's got us on his family plan. He's got like 75 family members on his plan. He probably gets his phone stuff for free because we're all paying the family plan for him. I'm fine with it. It's dirt cheap.
Absolutely. Still with
Hello,
you.
Donna. I got the little ticker tape up here. Hi, Donna. Donna, is it Harvey White or Hanvey White? Hanvey White. Hello, Donna Hanvey White.
At least you pronounce names better than I do. I fucked up so many people's names. I just stopped pronouncing it.
My poor wife has to put up with so much from me. I mispronounce words all the time on purpose, and she's like, why do you do that? It makes me think that you're having a stroke or something. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, honey.
No,
Then I do it again.
Yeah, she gets me on that stuff too. Like I'll just have fun like pronouncing bagels as bagels. And she'll just be like, why do you say it that way? I was like, because it's funny.
Well, how else would you say bagel?
Exactly.
There's no umlauts over that A.
Nope.
When they the gear.
Muterhood.
Oh no.
That's how you say it, right? Right?
Exactly.
All my street cred right out the window.
Nah, don't worry. We'll always make sure,
Tony's calling me on
sure
the
that we
phone.
nail it back to you.
Tony's firing me for mispronouncing Motorhead.
Oh, jeez. Well, like,
hey, Donna, glad you liked the interview. I hope it's not too cringe.
nah, this is always a fun, like, safe space. But Curran, as like a fun, like, old school question. Oh no, go ahead, Angel.
Yeah, what's up, Angel?
When you're out on tour, what guitar gear do you take out with you?
Yes. Rig rundown.
Oh, well, the rig rundown. Well, it depends on if it's the U.S. or Europe. So in the U.S., I use shit.
Let's go.
I'll use this is one of my main Ibanez. This is my number one right now. It's just a super cheap RG EX5. I think it was a Guitar Center exclusive. New, they were like $4.99. I scored this used for like $125.
Nice.
What I do is I strip off all the frets, correct the radius. I make it a 16-inch radius. I put a Floyd Rose on it. Mm-hmm. I'm endorsed by DiMarzio, so this is a DiMarzio Steve Special in the bridge. Oh, nice. I put a Sustainiac up in the neck, refret it with super ultra mega oversized jumbo frets, and then put I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a Floyd Rose brass block right there, yeah, and what they call a tremolo in the back. So, and then on the front of it, You can see I have an Eddie Van Halen D Tuna that I installed, and a custom pop-in, pop-out Floyd arm right there. So I can still do all my pullback on the tremolo, and then I can stop the tremolo. I can block it and do drop B for two of the songs off of Ave that are in drop B. So this is my main touring guitar right here.
That's an awesome looking one.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's got like this truck liner finish on it. Like you see all the little speckle peckles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a weird one-off finish that Ibanez did for Guitar Center. And yeah, the fuck. If it ever breaks or gets stolen, it's not the end of the world for me. Unlike my really nice guitars I have here in the studio. But actually, this is actually all over the new record, the new Venom record. This is the only guitar I used on it. And then back here is my main amplifier that I use when I'm touring in the U.S. This is an amp that I build. It's the Custom Audio Mutation, the Cam 850M. And it's just a single channel, super high gain motherfucker of an amp. So, and then in the studio, I use this and I paired it with a Soldano and SLO30, which is just a cool little amp. And I use a Helix processor for like all the delays and harmonizers and reverbs and shit. And that's pretty much my live rig. In Europe, we'll rent tube heads for me. So I'll rent like two PV5150s or 6505s, and I'll use the Helix with that, and then the Ibanez here, and that's my live rig in Europe. So
nice, dude. Angel, real quick, Curran, just out of curiosity, because I know some guitarists are super down for it, and some just it's not really their jam. Feels like maybe it's too flashy. Have you ever thought about having one of your guitars like printed or resurfaced with some type of Venom ink, like logos or albums designs on the front of them?
I haven't. The main reason I've not thought of that is it just never crossed my mind. But also, I'm so hard on my equipment. Like if I had something specially made for me like that, I would be scared to bring it on tour. Because again, I'm so hard on my gear. Like I don't know, like if you kind of look at just even the back of, or like
you can see across the edges there.
Yeah, I'm a little hard on my gear. I'm a hard player. So shit getting smashed, broken, or destroyed by me, lost, stolen, airport loses it, shit like that. To have something really special made for me and then have it ruined or lost, that would be pretty heartbreaking. This way, like if this guitar gets fucked up by the airline, like if they break the neck, I can strip all the parts off, go buy another used Ibanez RG 450, and I can be up and running in an hour. It's not the end of the world. So that's kind of my thinking on it.
Totally, brother, for sure. You had also mentioned off the air about NAMM. And when you go to the NAMM events, are you there specifically for your pickups endorsement, or is there other endorsements that you have that you also represent there?
Well, so I haven't been to NAMM in many, many, many years. So I used to go to NAMM. I was a production manager and research and development manager for a guitar company for a lot of years. So for like 4 or 5 years in a row, I went to NAMM every fucking year, and I got pretty burned out on it. Like it's fun, but man, it's exhausting.
I can imagine.
So, I might go to NAMM again for my amp company. I might coming up here, maybe this year. I don't know. Depends on how things play out. But Tony wants us all to go just kind of on principle. So I'm endorsed with DiMarzio pickups. I've been using DiMarzio, since 1996. I just love their pickups, and then of course their straps, their strap locks are amazing. But the DiMarzio Steve Special and the DiMarzio Air Norton are my two main pickup choices for guitars. Also, the Dominion set is great, and then the transitions, the Steve Lukather DiMarzio pickups are amazing.
Nice.
And then I'm also, funnily enough, I'm actually endorsed with Seymour Duncan as well.
Oh,
But I'm endorsed with them for their Power Stage amplifiers. So on tour, I use a Power Stage 700 as part of my setup with my tube amps. I run a really ridiculously complicated stereo guitar rig, and the Power Stage 700 is a huge part of making that work. So yeah.
Oh hell yeah, that's killer, brother. Right back to you, Angel.
Do you use pedals?
No, I use in the studio. I'll use pedals, for like solo tracking and this and that. But live, I use a Helix, Line 6 Helix. But I use that only for processing. So like my noise gates, delays and reverbs, the harmonizer settings, like distortion panel models in the like a tube screamer model in front of a tube amp. I'll use it for that, and I use that Helix as part of my my stereo rig. So I run two tube guitar amp heads. So 1, 2 stereo. So one side on Tony's side is a stereo tube head, and then on my side is a stereo tube head. And then I'll run the Power Stage 700 runs all the effects. So what they call a wet, dry, wet rig, where all the effects are just in two separate cabinets by themselves. So the sound guy, our front of house engineer, can have the dry guitar sound of the tube heads and can blend in all the delay and reverb or harmonizers that I have preset with the Helix separately. So it's really clean, very easy for the front of house guy to kind of sculpt the sound every night and have it be clean and manageable for him. So it's kind of complicated and dumb, really, but at the end of the day, it sounds fucking great. So I took a piece from Eddie Van Halen's book on the wet, dry, wet rig, but I one-upped it by running two heads of stereo as well. So
nice.
I don't know.
No,
Hey,
yeah,
I'm in a 3-piece band. I got to fill up as much sound as I can.
Absolutely, dude, for sure, man, 100%. And right back to Angel.
No, it's going to kick it right back up to you.
No worries, man. Absolutely, for sure. Metal Summoners, you guys have been absolutely rock solid tonight. The biggest thing that Angel and I can always tell you guys is how much we appreciate you guys supporting the interviews that we do and supporting the musicians like Curran and like Venom Inc. to allow them to continue to put out new music and rock out and tour and go out all over Europe with Black Label Society and then put out 4 records this year that you guys are all going to get to look forward to. And again, Kieran, before we let you go officially, again, first and foremost, thank you so much for your courtesies this evening. But before we let you go officially, please let everybody know where you can be found, Venom Inc. can be found, and of course, merch can be found, because that always helps the band.
Merch always helps the band. So the easiest way to find out about Venom Inc., Venom Inc. tour dates, all things Venom Inc. Is our website. So venominc.co.uk has a list of all of our tour dates, all of our upcoming festival dates, everything, merch purchasing, all that good stuff. I know we have a bunch of like not limited edition, but like well, I guess maybe limited edition, but not on purpose. Hoodies and beanie hats and all kinds of good fun stuff on there that we won't bring with us on tour that you can only get through the website. Mm-hmm. And of course, I mean, we have Venom Inc. Facebook, Venom Inc. Instagram. You can find us. I'm sure we're on Blue Sky and Threads. And then, just hit YouTube, kids. Look up Venom Inc. You'll find us. There's all kinds of live footage of us playing on tour over the last 2 years, all kinds of interviews, all kinds of other fun stuff. And I mean, hey, baby, that's how you find us. Super easy, super simple. And of course, the Demolition Man, Tony Dolan, is on Facebook and Instagram. Mark Jackson has a Patreon with his drum teaching, and he does playthroughs of a lot of Venom Inc. songs, and it's a very cool Patreon. I've got a YouTube page, and I'm on Facebook, and but I pretty much am just a goof. So you can go on my page and just giggle. How's that?
No, absolutely, my friend. No, for sure, brother. And of course, we really appreciate you for sure, man. And Curran, the most important thing that it's always incredibly important that myself and Angel let you know, and let any other artist know that comes on our show, is that you enjoyed your time this evening, that you felt respected, you liked the questions that were asked of you, and that overall you felt that if any way, shape, or form this little interview could benefit you or the continued success of Venom Inc.
Well, no, I've had a great time. I'm always flattered and excited when anybody wants to talk to me about anything to do with my music or my band. Or it's always flattering to me. You want to talk to me? Why? But no, I've had a great time. I really have enjoyed it, man. I appreciate you reaching out and asking me to be on your show, man.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, my friend. And like we had mentioned off the air, definitely keep me in loop when any kind of new posters or things come out that all of you guys can sign for me, because I've got my Ave that's got, of course, respectfully Abaddon, Mantis, and Tony on there as well. But I need an updated version as well. So whenever those get launched, man, I would love to be kept in the loop.
So the new album, that's the one that we'll get all the new signatures on.
Absolutely, my friend. Curran, thank you so much, my friend. We really appreciate you, man. And again, we're super stoked that you had a good time this evening. And again, if there's anything that Angel and I can also do in any way to assist Venom Inc., whether it's something that we can promote, make a post about, or anything like that, or even if something pops up on short notice and you're like, hey, we have this thing, I kind of want to talk about it, can I pop on for a little bit? Just hit up me, hit up Angel. We're always going to say yes, my friend. You're an alumnus of this show, and we would absolutely look forward to having you back on in the future, or for anything that Angel and I can do to assist Venom Inc. going forward.
Sure. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that invitation.
Absolutely. Our absolute pleasure, my friend. Metal Summoners, thank you guys so much for rocking out this evening. It's been over 2 hours that it felt like 20 minutes, and it's been an absolute pleasure to get to rock out this evening. So, Metal Summoners, please make sure that you're following Venom Inc. on all of their socials. You heard Curran rip them off, and as well as the individual pages of both Curran, Jackson, and Tony as well. When it comes to the Metal Summit, please make sure that you're following us on both Facebook and YouTube. That's where the interviews are taking place. That's where you're watching Curran right now. So make sure that you're liking, following, and subscribing to those pages. But if you also like to know what we do as quick as we put it out, our Instagram page is always a great one to follow, because we put out a lot of our announcements there first. When it comes to ourselves individually, you can find Angel at Angel LMO78 on Instagram. You can also find his personal page on Facebook as well. Our beloved Psycho Steve, who works behind the scenes as well as booking, you can find him at psychostevepresents.com, but he also has an Instagram page as well at The Real Psycho Steve, and you can also find his personal page as well. Myself, you can find me here on Instagram at salem.vampire. I do have that page as well on Facebook, but I also have a personal page as well that you can send me a friend request if you would like as well. But again, that's enough for us. It's been all about Venom Inc., and it's been all about Curran Murphy. So again, on his behalf, off the courtesies of the band's behalf, and of course, on behalf of Angel, Steve, and myself, thank you so much, Metal Summoners. Be good to yourself. Make sure that you guys are getting out. If you're in Europe, get out to the tour, Black Label Society, and Venom Inc. all over Europe. And if you're here in the States as well as Europe, make sure you guys are keeping your eyes peeled and watching out for all the releases that Venom Inc. is about to put out for us. It's going to be an absolutely amazing 2026. Thank you so much again on behalf of Curran Murphy and Venom Inc., myself, Angel, and Steve. Take care. Be good to each other. We will see you guys next week for a brand new episode, and the guest announcement will come out over the weekend for next week's episode as soon as we have everything confirmed to double check and make sure that everything is good to rock and roll. So take care. We will see you guys in a week. Be good. And as always, you've been watching the Metal Summit.
Yeah.